Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, we're reviewing a Chevy Blazer with the 2.0 turbo. Before we get in this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Large Miller Chevy here in Murray, Utah for giving me some time with this Blazer. I'm going to include a link to their website in the description down below so you can check out what they have currently. If you have any questions or need any help, just ask for Nick and Gage. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. Under the hood, we have a turbocharged 2-liter 4-cylinder that goes through a 9-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 22 around town and then 27 on the highway, with power outputs being 228 horsepower and then 258 pound-feet of torque. Now, before we move forward with this review, I do want to mention, if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. Now, taking a look at the hood, you guys can see here with the lines on either side, pretty cool look. And then popping down below, we've got this split light design. You guys can see the headlight stuff down below, and then look at all of the chrome here in the grille, but notice the Chevy bow tie is blacked out. And putting it all together, the contrast between the chrome and the black looks pretty cool. Now, coming on the side here, our timing wheel setup is 235, 55, 20 in the front and over in the rear. And you guys can see here with the wheels, you got the silver on the top with the metallic gray mixed in. And then look at the fender flares, so those are also metallic gray. That looks pretty cool. And then all along the side, got some chrome trim. Blacked out Blazer badge, though, kind of interesting, random, right? And then the door handles have chrome. And putting it all together, the silver mixed in with the metallic gray and black, there's quite a bit happening, but I think it works. So here's a quick look at the key fob. We have our lock and unlock function, remote start, the opening here for the hatch, and then the Chevy bow tie. And then popping into the rear, you guys can see we've got a cargo cover here built in from the factory, says Chevrolet right there. And then you have these to throw down these seats on either side. But yeah, solid storage space. This is similar in size to like a Jeep Grand Cherokee for those of you that are wondering. And when you're all done, you can press that and then I'll lower it down. And while that's lowering down, that's a bright color. Anyways, look at the taillights here. I think you guys can see all the rest of the badges are all blacked out here on the back. And then you guys can see parking sensors, and then look at the covers of the exhaust tips. And wrapping things up, let me guys think about the looks here on this Blazer. Do you prefer this, or do you prefer the looks on the RS? Now, taking a look at the door panel, you guys can see two-tone here with the coloration, and yeah, really nice look with the trim. We do have heated seats here for the back as well. And then taking a look at the seats themselves, you guys can see perforated all down the center portion, and then look at the little inserts there. Now, taking a look at the legroom, you guys can see pretty solid. We also have a little storage pocket there, and then some vents, and then you guys can see the little charging ports down below. And, would you look at that, cup holder, armrest, and then last but not least, headroom. It's good. Now, taking a look at the door panel, you guys can see, again, two-tone with the coloration. We've got all of our window controls. Front one's automatic. Got your mirror adjustments, memory seats, and then you can see blind spot monitoring with the mirrors. And then taking a look at the seats themselves, look at the little insert there, and then you can see perforated all down the center portion. Power adjustments here on the side. Then you got your parking brake right here, and then all of your light controls, and the steering wheel is also power adjustable. Now, taking a look at the steering wheel, you guys can see soft touch all around, and I like this trim as well. It's pretty cool. Radio controls in the back. We got cruise control, heat steering wheel button on the steering wheel itself, and then your regular stocks here on the back. Now, here's a quick look at the gauge cost. You guys can see analog on either side, but we've got that screen there in the center, which we can use to scroll through a few different menus, see different bits of information here on the Blazer itself. And then we do have some drive modes that we can go between. So we've got an all-wheel drive mode, we have a sport mode, and then we also have an off-road mode as well. And then there's obviously the two-wheel drive mode. If you're not in two-wheel drive mode, you're not in two-wheel drive. Hopefully that makes sense. Now, taking a look at the camera system, you guys can see backup camera with trajectory lines that turn with the steering wheel. You got the bird's eye view as well, and there's tons of different angles that you can see out of this. Really good resolution as well, so great camera system. And then as for the rest of the infotainment screen, if it'll, there we go, pop up. Pretty good response time. You can see it did take a second for that to load up, obviously. You got Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and then you got a little shortcut bar here at the bottom, and then notice down below with the analog controls. And then I find it hilarious that we have like the auto stop start button here on the side, hazard lights, and then you have your glove box button. Yes, that's how you open up the glove box, and then you have stability control. So we got some soft touch here at the edge of the dash. It's kind of interesting how they've done that, and then you can see the silver trim. And then we do have heated and ventilated seats with this one. You've got dual zone climate, and this has the cool vents where you change the temperature by twisting the vent, which is always a fun feature. Got some USB action, and then a wireless phone charging pad. Shifter for the 9-speed automatic. We got some cup holder action behind that, parking brake, lane departure, and then our drive line / drive mode select dial right there. And then look at the center console, pretty spacious inside. Got some USB action, and then you can see the storage in front of it. And then up top, you guys can see we've got our camera rear view mirror. We've got the universal garage door openers, controls for the center, full panoramic center, for those of you that are wondering. Now taking a look at the window sticker, you guys can see 2024 Blazer, and then here's all of the standard equipment with that. Base MSRP, $45,700. We've got some options with this, obviously, $51,765. So yeah, pretty much as expensive as an RS. Interesting. Anyways, let's see how it drives. Let's talk about visibility before we set off. Here's visibility over the hood, both the mirrors, throughout the rest of the rear, and let's set off. Setting off in the Blazer with the 2.0 turbo. I thought this would be a pretty good review to do. I recently reviewed a 24 Blazer with the V6, so I guess we'll find if you should just stick with the V6 or if you should go for the 2.0 turbo. I guess the V6 is technically an upgrade where you got to pay a little bit more for it, so I guess should you pay the extra money, right? Is that something that should happen? First off, I will say, seats in this are pretty comfortable. I was just in a Malibu before this, and the Malibu had more comfortable seats. I don't know what it is, but the Malibu, man, they know how to make the seats on that thing, I guess. But yeah, aside from that, pretty dang good torque. It's actually pretty impressive. Smooth too. Yeah, going over the bumps and everything, it's very comfortable. I think that's a big plus. It's pretty quiet too. So yeah, it's like a daily driver type car. It's comfortable. It's pretty dang quiet. And I will say I like most of the touch points in here. It has kind of a. I wish this was soft touch here at the top though. It's kind of interesting that it's not. But anyways, it has this kind of like tight fit and finish feel, which I can definitely appreciate. Well, we're going over the train tracks here. I'm going to pop it into the sport mode as well. Well, it just popped it into all-wheel drive mode. Let's try sport mode. Come on, I hate the twisty dial, I will say that. Ooh. It's torquey. It's definitely torquey. Doesn't feel as quick as the V6, but I mean, it's pretty good. Pretty dang good. In terms of like the acceleration feel. Again, I hate this twisted dial for the drive mode select. Sometimes it doesn't respond to the inputs that you do. So I do find that kind of frustrating with this. I wish they'd just do like a button or something. But anyways, let's get into summing things up here with the Blazer Premier, but more specifically Blazer 2.0 Turbo. So I think ride quality is pretty dang good. Space is good in this. It's pretty comfortable. Yeah, the seats are pretty comfortable. I mean, it's got good features. I think it's interesting that this is like the same price as a Blazer RS that has the, pretty much the same price. Blazer RS with the V6, so interesting how they have that price crossover. And yeah, the 2.0 turbo, it's good. I still think I prefer the V6. I think that even though this does better high elevation, right, because it's turbocharged versus naturally aspirated, yeah, I still think the V6 is just a little bit better. But yeah, overall, I think this drives really well, and I think this is a great, what you'd call Grand Cherokee alternative. Even though some people get upset about the name that this has, but you look at it, it's a sporty looking Chevy SUV with some nice features. But regardless, let me know your thoughts on the Blazer. Let me know if you like the 2.0 turbo more, or if you like the V6 more.